to desire marriage is not wrong.
Yeah, it's normal.
It's a normal and a good thing. It's a normal and it's a good thing. Yes. So most times I really wonder why people shame people that say they want to get married. There are people that does that, and it's very wrong. To desire marriage is a very, very normal thing. It's a sign of maturity, and it's a good thing because it's an institution created by God.
Hi guys, yo, welcome back again.
Yes, good to have you here. My name is Mercy.
My name is Emmanuel. Yes.
Welcome to our YouTube channel. If you're new to this channel, kindly subscribe. Thank you to our returning subscribers.
Thank you very much for stopping by.
Yes.
So
quickly,
in
this video we're going to be talking about
how to know when to get married. There's a season, there's a time. There's something about when it's time.
People don't know when to get married. People are confused. They feel like, how would I know that I'm ready for marriage? How would I know? How would I really know that this is when God wants me to get married? Yes. So in this video, we're going to be talking about, we're going to give some signs on what to look out for when is that season to get married.
Yes.
So sit back
and enjoy. We also like to say that this is just from our own experience, and also this is what we have learned from other people. It doesn't apply to everybody, but these are some of the times you begin to feel it's like a season that just comes. You know that yes, it's time, and it doesn't have to do with your age. It doesn't have to do with your age. It's just this knowing, just like you know that time, and just realize that things will begin to fall into pleasant place. Things will begin to fall into place. Then you discover that it's time for you to settle down as a man or as a woman. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. First of all, one of the ways God prepares you for it is you begin to have this desire. Is this desire to settle down, the desire to have a companion, the desire to have a wife? Yes, you begin to have this desire. For me, I remember in my early 20s, 21, 20, I was primarily focused on purpose, developing myself, reading, trying to be a better person, adding value to myself. But when I was getting to my mid-20s, I realized that I began to feel this need for a companion. Like I started reading books about love and marriage. I remember specifically, I started reading books about, I remember Gary Chapman. I still have it. I remember Gary Chapman. I started trying to understand the opposite sex, how they think, how they react. I started preparing for marriage, for just developing, giving myself an idea of what it means to go into a relationship, and this is what happens, this is how the opposite gender behave, this is how they think, this is how they respond. Then another thing I read was what every man wants in a woman and what every woman wants. I started understanding how women think, what to expect in a relationship, like okay, what to expect, what are the demands. So it just came to me as a season, and I started preparing for it. And another thing, aside the desire and this, the desire to prepare for it, kind of, another thing is I realized that I started praying that the Lord should help me find the right person. It just came like, it wasn't something I was praying about a few years back. It wasn't even my thought, it wasn't even my mind. Like, I wasn't thinking about marriage at all. But at this moment of my life, I realized that I started having this desire and I started praying about it. I remember specifically asking God to just lead me to the right person. Let our steps be ordered together. Yes, let our steps. And I started praying that God should let me see the person the way they really are, and not the way they appear to. I remember telling my wife that was one of the prayers I made. Till I want to see her the way she really is and not the way she appears to be. And truthfully, in that moment, God began to prepare me gradually for it. I realized that mentally I started becoming more conscious about the opposite sex. Like, okay, unlike before, when I was just living my own life, like me, alone, I realized that, okay, now you'll soon be in a relationship that will lead to marriage. You start acting this way. It's just like it feels. Just like when you're transitioning from primary to, I remember those days, you're transitioning from primary to secondary school. Yes. In primary school, you realize that almost all your responsibilities being taken care of by your parents. But when you get to secondary school, you realize that there's this kind of, you're now in secondary school kind of feeling. You start acting on your own and you start acting. So for me, that's one of it anyways. That's a knowing you have. Shows that, yes, it's time to get married.
So for me, I would say when I knew just time for me to set it down, that should be one of the signs for me was that you become more committed and more faithful to the partner. Not as if previously you were with various partners, but just that at this point, you know that whatever relationship you are going to go into right now has to be a serious one, has to be a relationship that will make sense, has to be a partner that most times you already have a picture of who you want to get married to. At that point, you know that that picture in your head is what you're looking for, what you're looking out for in a partner. Yeah, so at that point, you know, it's almost like a clock of maturity comes upon you, and then you know that there's no time to waste. This is not the time to play. This is not the time to do. I'm never. Remember that this. Yes. So at that point, you become more serious, more committed about your relationships, about even down to your circle of friends. You become more committed. You become more serious. As my husband mentioned earlier, you start thinking of being more responsible. For me, I knew that I needed to start building financial independence. At that stage, I knew that once I get married, I'm going to leave my parents' house. I need to really know how to make money, how to multiply money, how to manage money. I became more intentional. I became more intentional about money. I became more intentional about building myself. And most times we always have a picture of who we want to get married to. And then we'll start looking back, we'll start looking inward, looking into ourselves, and we'll start picturing ourselves as that person that your partner would also be proud of. You understand? Get my gist, right? So you're more intentional. You just find that you're more intentional, you're more committed. You look at everybody, every person coming to you with the lens of that picture. To desire marriage is not wrong.
Yeah, it's normal.
It's a normal and a good thing. It's a normal and it's a good thing. Yes. So most times I really wonder why people shame people that say they want to get married. There are people that does that, and it's very wrong. To desire marriage is a very, very normal thing. It's a sign of maturity, and it's a good thing because it's an institution created by God. Yes. So you just find out that you're desiring marriage, to be responsible for another person.
Another sign that you notice is that you realize that your assignment needs a companion. Needs one of you realize that your assignment, your purpose needs a companion. Yes, it's specific to some people anyways, but you realize that marriage is now part of your assignment. You realize that two are better than one. You need a companion. You need a woman in your life, or you need a man in your life. Yes, you begin to realize that it's part of your assignment. For me, I feel like, okay, this part of my life and ministry, I will need a woman to help me. I'll need a support system. I'll need somebody, both of us, I can share my dreams with. I need somebody I can talk with. I need somebody I can run with. Like, just like two are better than one, and they get a better result for the labor. When you begin to feel like you need a woman in your life to fulfill that assignment, you need them to help you, you need a companion, it's also one of the signs that it's time to get married. It's a sign that, and so you're marrying for purpose and not just for fun. That's just what I'm trying to say. Another thing that to know it's time, another point is that you realize that you now become responsible. You now become financially responsible, become emotionally responsible. You want to be fully committed to one partner. Yes. You realize that this flirting life is over. I think I'm more mature. There's this sense that just comes to you. This flirting is over. Time to be serious. Following different kind of people. Time to settle it. And also when you're financially stable, or at least almost there. Financial stability can be defined in different ways. Relative to somebody, you can be financially stable on a particular salary. To another person, in fact, it's like peanuts. Your financial stability is somebody's financial instability.
I saw a meme yesterday.
Yeah.
He said, financial stability no be 10 million, no.
Yes. So
yeah, for some people it
it could be 10 million, for some people it's 100 million. So it all depends on you. So when you're financially stable, at least you can take good care of yourself. And another person. You can take care of yourself. I'll just put it simply that you have a skill and you have a job, something that brings in money. That's the word. A source that brings in money. You're not calling anybody. I mean, you cannot stay alone. You have your own apartment. Very important. At that moment, it's also a sign that yes, you are ready. At the step that yes, you are ready to bring in someone. But if you're not, let's say you're still dependent on people to give you money, you're still dependent on people to give you shelter, no matter how you desire it, for me, it's not a strong sign enough for you to get married, because these are the major foundations you need to put in place. It's like a foundation you need to put in place before you get married. So financial stability, it's another.
Another sign to know that it's time to get married.
Yeah.
Is you consider starting a family.
Yeah.
The whole idea of starting a family becomes interesting to you. Yes. You look at some beautiful families, you start looking at for beautiful families, and then you start desiring to have one like that. You look at the babies, and then you just start feeling like you start becoming more mature. I mentioned that before, but then this naturally starts.
Become a desire, like something you want, something you desire for. Then it's also another sign. There's a phase of your life where you begin to have this kind of, it's time to. So
you imagine what it feels like to have a partner, what it feels like to have a day in the life of a couple. Yeah, exactly. In fact, there was another thing that has happened to me. That period. I know normally before then, anything wedding don't used to interest me. If you get things for wedding, I just feel like, am I going there to do for goodness sake? But at that period, when I started designing marriage, I found that weddings began to interest me. I want to go to weddings, I want to see how it's being done, I want to see what's happening there, I want to really, really be involved in it. It was a clear sign that it's time. Yeah, you start to design those things that's normally just felt like
they're not for me. But yeah, you're right. You realize that for me, I started doing more research. Like a research work. Started doing research into marriages of these. Started reading about people who are married 10 years, 20 years, 5 years of the case. Started studying families. Yes, any message about marriage gets my attention because I want to learn, especially when it has to do with intending couples. I was more interested about learning about intending couples. So it's these things put together. When you pick one or two things from all what we've said, you realize that all these things, one or two of them will be signs that you begin to feel so strongly. And like I said, I started praying about it, dropped in my spirit, praying about. So you will have these signs, one or two of these signs, and it's not a bad thing at all. you begin to desire to get married. Not about things, but you need to learn how to put the horse before the cart. Learn how to put the basic things in place, even as much as you desire to do that. You might have the desire, but you realize that some key things are not yet in place.
Yeah, true.
Yes, you can have the desire, even at 18, you can have the desire, but you realize that you're still dependent 100% on your parents. So for me, I wouldn't really advise you to start considering marriage at that age. Without that, but it has nothing to do with age. So that's it for us. So many things to learn. We trust you've been blessed by some of the things we shared. We trust that this video bless you. We'd like you to share with others. And also don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and also tell others about it. Thank you.
Thanks for watching to the
Thanks
end,
for watching
guys.
to the end. See you
In our next video.